And the war in Iraq is a main concern for voters and, of course, 2008 presidential contenders. There's a new public opinion dynamics poll, and it shows 57% of Americans believe we should finish the job in Iraq. 17% favor an immediate withdrawal, 32% favor a withdrawal timetable. How will the candidates' stance on Iraq affect their chances in the race for 2008? Joining me now, Jason Weingartner, the chair of the New York State Young Republicans, and Democratic strategist Julie Roginsky. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And Jason, I want to start with you because I've been very interested lately about young voters. I look at college campuses and I'm seeing, especially in terms of Iraq, not the kind of demonstration certainly that we had with Vietnam. And I'm wondering, where do they stand? Are they just apathetic on the issue? Are they becoming more conservative? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think when you look at college campuses, you get basically a mixed bag of nuts as you would in general society. I think that, and no pun on the nuts, but basically, you know, certainly there are certain protests. You know, generally those tend to be left-leaning campus students. But also you see pro-troops rallies, which generally are done by groups like the college Republicans, groups like the Young Republicans. And so I think that you see what takes place on campuses, much like you see what takes place across the country.
When we look at these polls, Julie, and we see these numbers and the kind of support now for finishing the mission in Iraq, do you think that it has an immediate impact on Democratic candidates now out and about meeting with voters, or will they wait a little closer to 2008 to let us know what they really are thinking?
Well, first of all, this poll, and I don't question the results of this poll, but I do question the way the actual questions were phrased. Essentially, this creates a false choice between stating as a fact that Iraq is the first front on terrorism. I think a lot of people would disagree with that premise to begin with. And also the other side of the coin saying, I don't care what happens in Iraq, let's withdraw. Now, I frankly don't think we should stay in Iraq indefinitely, but I can say that I, or any other Democrat for that matter, doesn't care about what happens in Iraq. I mean, so you're setting up a false dichotomy with those questions to begin with. I think the Democratic base, which is the Democratic primary voters, are very cognizant of what happened last November, and that's that the American people overwhelmingly voted for change in Iraq. They're not happy with the current strategy, and I think that was reflected last November. I don't see that anything's changed right now. In fact, the situation's probably gotten even worse.
Well, there were some exceptions to that, with Senator Lieberman certainly pulling out a great victory against Ned Lamont. So I think that, you know, I think that there might have been some other issues where Republicans might have left their traditional base by spending a little too much, by maybe spending time with some people that they shouldn't to spend time with.
I think every exit poll that I've seen and you talk to voters over and over again, Iraq was the dominant issue last November. I don't see that Iraq is not the dominant issue now.
Julie and Jason,